In this video, I will demonstrate on how to do a see-through fabric, which is chiffon here. But first, we're going to start with the skin's colors. I'm using E50, and then later you can add E51 for the shading details. You can also add another darker color for extra shading. And because it's see-through, you still have to color the inside part of the body. So you still need to put the skin's colors underneath the clothes. Then after you add the skin's colors, you can add the fabric on top of it. So the fabric here in the original photo is using a black see-through clothes, but however, because it's a see-through, you cannot really add a black Copic marker right away on these clothes because it's gonna be too bold and it will cover the whole thing and it doesn't look see-through. So in a way, you have to change the color to make it more transparent. It means that you need to add a gray color if it's a black see-through fabric. So here I'm trying to give an extra shading on the skins, because sometimes you have to let it dry first and then adding more shading, because the end result is always different when the Copic is still wet and when it's dry. So sometimes you have to see when it's dry. If it's not enough, then you can always add more. So here, after applying the extra shading or the third color, I will start with the hairlines. And I always mix two colors for the hair to make it more vibrant, and that way the hair won't look flat. And remember, the hairlines is really important, so make sure that you always draw the hairlines before you color them, and therefore it will be easy for you to color when it's already has the detailed hairlines. So now let's prepare several gray color for the see-through fabric. Here I'm using warm gray color, which is W, and you can also use C gray, which is cool gray color. But either way, you have to have several colors of gray, so maybe starting with the W3 or W4 or C4, and then try to follow the silhouette of the clothes and the folded part and the gather and all the details, and then try to fill in and make sure that you don't overdo it, because it still have to look see-through, so it cannot be too thick as well. So that's why you always start off with the very light gray color, and then after that we can start to build with the one or two darker color. For example, after W3 or 4, you can add W5 or 6. So after that, you can tell that the colors blend in well, and you just have to add more color and more lines on the detail part or on the folded or gather part of the clothes. And as you can see, even though we add a lot of gray color, but the skin still seen clearly, so we can tell that it's still a see-through fabric. And slowly you just have to repeat the same process using a different gray color, and then adding the details on the folded part and the gather part. And you just have to do it until you think the color represent the real photograph enough. And if you think it's already quite similar with the photograph, then you can move on and continue with the trousers. And remember, for the last steps of the last gray color, which is the darkest one, you have to be careful that you don't add too much, because when you do, it will ruin the whole see-through look. So make sure that you only adding the darkest gray on the details area or on the gather or folded part. And it is definitely take more times on doing just the clothes compared to the skins and also the trousers part. So just be patient and doing it lightly and slowly to get the right texture on this one. So when you finally complete the top, prepare for the trousers color, which is the black one. And because of the trousers is a shiny latex PVC fabric, it means you have to add more texture. So prepare the white gel pen to give the shiny effect on the trousers. And beside the white gel pen, you also need a pencil, a white pencil color to define the detail lines of the trousers. And for the pants, because it's a longer area to color, try to add your hand in the middle of the Copic, because you're gonna have to move your Copic a lot. That's why when you add your hand in the middle of the pen or your Copic brush, it will be easier for you to move along and color it neatly. And as usual, I always try to make the outline first, and this way it will be easier for me when I fill in the color. And because it's a very solid color, so try to fill the whole of the trousers neatly, because it has to be very smooth and seamless. So try to color the whole thing without stopping so you don't leave any mark. I know it's quite hard, but you just have to do it. Even if you have to stop in the middle, try not to give too much tension when you stop so you don't leave any mark, and always try to cover the mark if you have while it's still wet, so basically you still can manage to fix it. And also for the trousers, because it's a very solid black color, make sure that you don't leave any uneven color on some part of the trouser. So make sure that you cover the whole thing and repeat or double the color if you think it's not solid enough. Then after you complete to color the whole base of the trousers, you can start to define the shape with the white pencil. So the lines that you do before on the sketching, try to add more with the white pencil so you know where the shoes is. And after you define all the lines, you just need to add the white gel pen for the texture, for the shiny latex PVC effect. And make sure that when you add a little mark from the gel pen, make sure that you rub off right away with your hand, because it's really dry very quickly. So make sure that you already know where to add the white cast and just follow the photograph example for the reference. And just an advice when you do this for the first time, because it's a bit tricky, so make sure that you try to give a swatch on another paper. So try to swap the black color on the other paper, and then when it's dry you can add the white gel pen and then rub it off so you know how it will turn out. So when you finally apply it on your illustration here, you don't want to ruin your drawing just because of you made a mistake with this gel pen. So make sure that you always try it first on the other paper. So the pants and the shoes is actually the same kind of fabric, and if you think the white cast is too much, you can always let it dry and then adding more Copic color to cover it or to make it more blend well. And then after that you can move on with the shoes with the same style, but just a tiny amount of white gel pen, and then we are finished with this look.